Hello and welcome back to Planescape Torment with me, Bardon, the nameless one, Mort, Dakon, and our newest companion, Anna. So, let's start off by chatting with Anna. Anna, didn't I meet you in the hive before I found Farad? She nods a little weirdly. Aye, you did. I haven't forgotten you. When I asked about Farad, you told me he was south and west of the mortuary, when he wasn't. Aye, I did. And you'd have done the same if some scarred wreck came to you and asked you where he could find their dad. She shrugs. You found him anyway, so I don't want to hear you carrying on about it. I don't. What were you doing by the mortuary? It's my territory. I was looking for deaders, I was. She looks you up and down, then smirks. Found a walking one I did. I see, I had some other questions. Anna, did you find anything on my body before you brought it to the mortuary? Anna looks at you wearily and her tail stops flicking for a moment, then resumes. Slower than before. Aye, mayhap. I found something. But if I found anything, it's mine by right. It is. The other bits are in Farad's keeping. Anna, I don't have time for games. What did you find on my corpse? Well, yeah. Well, you had some fist irons, you did. And a little bit of jink. But I left that for the dusties, so they'd think I was a wee bit honest. You had an ugly ring that I kept. She dips her finger into her arm braces and pulls forth a small ring with a stone mount on it. Worth thrice more than the jink and the iron it was. She studies the ring and squints. Too bad it's too ugly to wear. I'd like the ring back now. She studies the ring with a frown, glances at you, then back at the ring. With a sneer she flicks the ring to you. Didn't want the ugly thing anyway. I didn't. Fine. Now when you mentioned that some stuff from my body had gone into Farad's keeping, what did you mean? Aye, Farad takes a bit off each corpse we find, he does. It's his right, being lord of the village and all. Off of every corpse you all find, that's a lot of corpses. Oh aye, to hear tell, old Stuttercrutch has got a stash pit somewhere close to him. It's the only reason I can see why he'd set up Kip in that filthy drafty hall it is. Nothing but stink and shadows. Really, and that's where he puts the tribute he gets. Aye, she squints at you. Now, what are ye on about? You planning to bob him? Truth, no, I've no cause to do such a thing. Farad's done me no harm. Well, good. I'm warning ye against such a thing, I am. Farad can be a daft sometimes, but he's mean as all fiend spit when he gets worked on. She frowns. And he loves his keepsakes, he does. But where would he keep it all? If he's been at the village for as long as he says, he would have amassed quite a collection. Well, Anna is silent for a moment. I know he's never left his hall to get his tribute when he needs it. He wouldn't want to walk far with that lame leg of his now. Aye, that's true, but only if you don't watch him carefully. He isn't lame though. He puts on a fair show about being weak in the leg. So that crutch of his could be a portal key. Anna frowns in thought for a moment and slowly nods her head. Aye, there's the thought. She shrugs. I wouldn't know how you'd use it though. Maybe you just need to have it. Maybe, we'll find out. I had some other questions. Tell me a little about Farad. Old Stuttercrutch, he's me dad. Well, not me real dad. He found me when I was a wee girl. Anna shrugs. He needed a collector to crawl into paces. The rest of his fat gullies couldn't squirm. So he took me under his crutch. I didn't think you and him looked much alike anyway. Anna's eyes narrow and her tail begins to lash back and forth. What do you mean by that then? I meant he doesn't look much like a tiefling. Aye, he doesn't. And if you knew one thing about tieflings, other than what you'd heard from any half-grinning hiver on the street, you'd have the sense to know that none of us tieflings look like. Jig? She shakes her head. No hope for ye, that's for sure, for dead sure. I didn't mean that as an insult. You both look so different. I mean, Farad's so Farad and you're not. Oh, now, what could have tipped you off to that? My hair? My skin? I can't think of anything else. Anna slaps herself lightly on the forehead and sneers sarcastically. Maybe it was the tail. Oh, aye, that might have been it. You're so much sharper than I am, you are. A real gem. What in the hell is your problem? I make a simple statement and you twist it like a dagger. A dagger's a dagger, so it is. All I was saying is that you and Farad look nothing alike. The two of you don't have much in common. Anna's face flushes a deep red. Oh, is that so? And how do you see that? Let's use the truth. I mean, have you ever looked at yourself? Aside from the way you carry yourself, you're confident, sensible and graceful. And that doesn't even take into account your obvious good looks. You have that rich fire red hair, those sharp green eyes, and that striking profile. Anna just stares at you. So that's all I meant when I said you and Farad look nothing alike. Anna nods, still staring at you. She doesn't even blink. Are you listening to me? Anna suddenly leans in and she bites you sharply on the neck, giving a soft hiss. Rather than pulling back, she presses closely into you and whispers into your ear. Do you fancy your chances? Her tail begins to lash slowly back and forth, but the rhythm is more hypnotic than angry. You can feel Anna's heart beating fast in her chest and the colour rising in her cheeks. You suddenly become conscious of the fact that Anna's skin is smooth, soft. I want to tell you something, and you can't poke fun at me. Alright. Do you know I like the way you smell? Oh aye, it drives me barmy. Barmier than a chaos man it does. She sniffs up the side of your cheek and she gives a low, eager hiss. I see the way you look at me, and I like it. You've got hungry eyes, you do. It makes me afire. I want to bite you, soft like, around the neck. She teases the side of your neck with her teeth, never breaking skin, and with every whisper you can feel her breath along your ear. Her hand slides up around the back of your neck and tightens as you can feel her nails digging into your skin. I want to drag me nails along the back of your neck and force you to kiss me. I'd just like to interject here. Oh, it's Mort. I'd just like... Oh, let's get Mort's voice in my head for a second. I'd just like to interject here and point out... No, that's not Mort's voice. Come on, Mort's voice, Mort's voice. No, it's not coming to me. It'll come to me in a second though, hopefully. I'd just like to interject here and point out that I'm not going to say anything to spoil the mood, Chief. Chief? I'll just float here and watch. Don't mind me. Just sitting here, floating and watching. That's me. Yeah, I didn't get his voice there. At all. Do you know I can smell you from 50 paces? That smell of formaldehyde pouring off you. Like one of them dusty shamblers. Maybe if you cleaned yourself up some, you'd be a right prize. Her eyes flash. I'd make passion with you so hard you'd be knocked off the spire. She steps back, her tail flicking lightly against your leg, then gives you a hard stare. So, do you fancy me? Yes, I do. Well then, your chances are slimmer than you think they are. Anna sneers. She still seems to be a little flushed. I was only teasing you, you scarred vampire. You don't smell that good, you don't. Enough of this, let's move on. Yeah, I'll have to remember Mort's voice. Let's pop in here. We're just cleaning up some of the stuff that we need to do. So let's talk to Fel. Fel turns to face you as you approach. Next to you, Anna stiffens as she catches sight of Fel. Anna, what's wrong? Are you daft? Anna turns to you and you suddenly realize she's frightened. Are you so pig eager to dance in the lady's shadow You'll band words with this one. Let's give this place the laugh before we get penned in the dead book. What's the problem? It's Fel. Anna throws a fearful glance at the creature, presumably Fel. Let's be away, aye? No good will come of being here, so it won't. I'll ask again, what's the problem? He's a Dabbas, who's not a Dabbas, aye? He walks on the ground. Anna's voice drops to a whisper and she starts trembling. No more questions. Let's give this place the laugh, aye? Anna, no harm will come to you while I'm here. Now tell me what's wrong. Anna throws a frightened glance at Fel. Fel's a Dabbas who angered her. It said he's a Dabbas who isn't a Dabbas, and the time's close when the lady's gaze will fall on him, so it will. Her, you mean the Lady of Pain? Aye, and heed your tongue. Anna makes another semicircle in the air in front of her as you mention the lady's name. The Dabbas work for the lady, and she protects them, except Fel. She shudders. Let's be away. Aye? I'd like to speak to Fel first. Anna grabs your arm. Please, nay, nay. No good will come of it. Anyone speaking to Fel can draw the lady's gaze. I dunna want to die, I don't. To your surprise, Anna looks close to tears. Okay, let's promise. Anna, no harm will come to you while I'm here. I promise. I just want to speak to him for a moment. For a minute, Anna just looks at you. Then something in your gaze seems to calm her, for she steels herself. I dunno why she shakes her head. Go on then. Talk to him. I dunno care. There's an undercurrent of fear in her voice. Very well. Dakon, can you translate for me? Dakon nods. Ask him what this place is. A slow train of symbols materialize around Fel's head. The symbol takes several moments to resolve, starting with simple lines. What did he say, Dakon? He places pictures on flesh here, tattoos. Can I see what tattoos he has available? Tattoo of Bone Singer, tattoo of Rests Dead. Okay, tattoo of Accuracy, tattoo of Bloodletting. So we'll get some of those when we have space. I want to talk to him again, if we can.
What's the word,
Come on,
Chief?
Fel. We want to talk to Fel. There we go. Dakon, can you translate for me? Ask him if he did the tattoos on this dismembered arm I found. Fel examines it for a moment, tracing the patterns with his finger. He then looks up, and a series of rebuses form, hazy at first, then come sharply into focus. The arm is yours. The tattoos are mine. One tattoo speaks of a time when your path was shared by 4 others. What did he say, Dakon? Dakon studies the symbol, but he remains silent. Dakon, what is he saying? The arm is yours. The tattoos are his. Did he say anything more than that?
Updated my journal.
Dakon is silent for a moment, and suddenly, instinctively, you know Dakon is lying to you. He continues on with dead level tone. The rest of the symbols are not known to me. Why are you lying to me? Dakon falls silent again. He does not turn to look at you. He seems to be staring at something leagues away. The symbols. There is no good in knowing the answer to what you ask. Since when has not knowing the truth of something ever really helped anyone, Dakon? The counselor who counsels ignorance betrays the station. There is truth in your words. That truth should be known to me. Dakon is silent for a moment. Then he turns to you, his eyes hardened. The symbols speak of 4 you have traveled with in the past. Go on, what 4 are these?
My journal.
The symbol swirls before you and you piece them together. One unloved who loves one who does not love. One who does not see what others see and sees what others do not. One who is familiar and bound with duty. One who is a slave and his chains are words. As you finish translating, the 4 strings seem to form themselves into links and they merge into a chain. The chain bends until it is a symbol you feel you recognize. What did he say, Dakon? Dakon isn't even looking at the symbols. The tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman who loved a man who knew her and knew not love. The other was a blind man who saw things no mortal eyes could see. Another was a familiar, a mage's pet, bought and bound, and the last was a slave. Why did you not want to tell me this? The 4 are bound with a symbol that is known to me. What symbol? The symbol sharpens, gaining edge that are almost painful to your eyes. It is torment. It is that which draws all tormented souls to you. Fell nods at your left arm, at your shoulder. The flesh knows it suffers, even when the mind has forgotten. And so you wear the rune anyway, always. What did he say, Dakon? The symbol is torment. He says that you have always worn it, for the flesh knows that it suffers, even when the mind does not. I see. Can you tell me anything more about the 4 on the tattoo? Dakon is silent again. I will speak of it here. Ask what we speak of. Ask when what we speak of will only be for the ears of those that walk with you. Very well. Does Fel say anything about the other tattoos on the arm? Fel examines the arm again, tracing the other faded tattoos upon its surface. As he does, they each appear as a symbol above his head. Hazy at first, then coming into focus sharply, he turns to face you. Once forgotten, now remembered. You may wear them again if you wish. What did he say, Dakon? He says that the arm wears forgotten tattoos. He has remembered them now. They are yours if you want them. Okay. We'll come back for tattoos later.
Okay.
So, let's leave Fel for now. Hopefully Anna being afraid of him though.
Done.
So then we need to talk to
Your
Dakon.
reasons for your incessant clicking are not known to me. What is your will?
Dakon turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. His blade mirror his eyes for a moment as you address him, then he nods. What is your will? There are things I would know, Dakon. I want to ask you about our travels. What can you tell me about the city Sigil? When Fel was described the tattoo on my arm, you said you knew the symbols. What for are these?
Updated my journal.
The tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman, okay. And which of them was you, Dakon? Were you the slave? Dakon is silent for a moment, and the surface of his blade swims as if in turmoil. Know that this one owed you a service. In owing this to you, it became a slavery. How did this come to be? No, the tale is long. The matter is between me and the other that was once you. Know that if you hear it, know it shall be a long tale. I would hear it. Upon the rolling plain of limbo, the people shape cities from the chaos with their thoughts. Know that there is no place for a divided mind. Dakon raises the blade from his shoulder and holds it before him. As he stares at it, it sharpens until it is almost as thin as a piece of paper. Go on. A divided mind is an unfocused mind. A divided mind fractures walls and weakens stone. As Dakon speaks, the edge of the blade corrodes slightly, the metal misting and melting along the edges. Many divided minds may destroy a city. I understand. Go on. Long have I known the words of Zertimon, though through my voice many have come to know the words of Zertimon. The Zert protect the community from all threats, whether to the body or the mind. They are the guiding stones in the chaos. So it came to pass that I spoke the words of Zertimon without knowing the words of Zertimon. It came to pass that I no longer knew myself. So you doubted the words? No! Dakon's voice is edged and his blade sharpens in response. I knew the words. Yet it came into my heart that perhaps others did not know the words as Zertimon knew them. And so the vision formed. As my mind became as two, as my mind became divided, those that looked to me as a guiding stone became divided. Many scores of Jitzerai, many hundreds of scores of Jitzerai doubted. Shark's lore died that day, so those that followed you came to doubt the words as well, and the city was weakened. The enemies of Zertimon came, know that their hatred of his word and the people lent their blade strength. Know that they sensed the weakened city and they brought war with them. Many Jitzerai drowned in the chaos and beneath the blades of our enemies. Small beads of metal appeared on the surface of the blade as if it is blistering. No, this happened long ago. What happened to you? As I fell from the walls of Shark's lore, know that myself was broken, my blade was missed, my mind divided. I was adrift upon Limbo's sea, and I wished to drown. I died for days, my mind awash in division. When death finally came to me, it wore your skin, and it had your voice. Me? You asked that I hear you. As Dakon says the words, your vision bleeds outwards, and a crawling sensation begins to worm its way up through the back of your skull. You feel nauseous for a moment, and your vision is suddenly as chaos, smeared, twisted, and you are someplace else, someplace in the past. Let's surrender to the memory. Everything around you is in turmoil. Your vision is hazy, swirling, dizzying. All at once there is a mist, pockets of fire, islands of mud, stone, and ice-covered rocks swimming through the plain like fish, impacting and dissolving, droplets of water arcing through the howling air and lashing your skin like teeth. You choke back your nausea and you steady yourself. This is the plane of limbo. All is chaos, nothing is stable. You focus on the dying man that lies before you. It is why you have come to this place. Echo, examine the Zerth, see if he still lives. The man is a Jitzeri, his body embedded in an earthen pocket that swirls around him. Unconsciously he has formed a grave from the elements, and though bits of fire and water lick at his face, he does not respond. His hands are ashen, his cold black eyes focusing on nothing. His emaciated frame speaks of starvation, but you know that it is the least of his wounds. It is fate that dealt him the mortal blow. Echo, look for the blade he carries. In his limp left hand is a twisted mass of metal, its surface having melted around his hand like a gauntlet. As you watch, it steams and hisses like a diseased snake. Jitzeri does not seem to be aware of it, but it is that weapon that has brought you here. Echo, Dakon, Zerth of Shaktlor drowning, last wielder of the Karach blade, know that I have come to you with the words of Zertimon, carved not in chaos but in stone, carved by the will in an unbroken circle. At the words Zertimon, Dakon's eyes roll in their sockets and they attempt to focus upon you. With effort he cracks his mouth to speak, but only a dry hiss emerges. You bring forth the stone from your pack and hold it before him so he can see. Echo, know that the words of Zertimon inscribed upon the stone are true, and know that your divided mind needs to be divided no longer. All you must do is take the stone and you shall know yourself again. Dakon's eyes flicker over the unbroken circle of Zertimon, and for a moment you think he might be too close to death to recognize it. Then the right hand twitches and he pulls it slowly from its earthen prison. The clumps of earth streaming off it become water in Limbo's chaotic winds. His skeleton hands clutch the stone like a drowning man, and his eyes flash. Echo, know that I have saved your life, Dakon, Zerth of the Shrak.
Updated my journal.
Dakon's eyes turn from the stone and flicker over you. and he hisses again, too dry for a moment to muster the words. He blinks slowly, then speaks, his voice barely able to whisper. But the words are what you wanted to hear. My life is yours, until yours is no more. Okay, let's close our eyes and return to the present. That kind of silent. I heard your words. The chaos in my mind became still. I knew myself again. So you got the circle from me.
Journal.
Yes. In knowing its words, I knew myself. This is all I wish to know. Let's move on. Okay, that was interesting. So Dagon used to be his companion then, in a previous life. Now, let's just deal with these guys. It won't take long. We don't get much experience, at least. They died pretty easily. I guess we just leave that stuff. I want to go and make some room. So where is the... Oh, it's over there. Okay. Let's just head over here and zone in. So we're going to clear out our inventory and then we'll probably end the episode. We're getting pretty close. So this is where, yeah, the merchants are up here. So just gonna sell all the crap that we don't want to be lugging about with us anymore. I'm gonna deal with these though because they're gonna be annoying otherwise. Okay, so let's start with this guy and see what we can sell him. Okay, so first off, we should really drop those tune keys. I'll keep the pipe because you never know what this is going to be for. Don't really need the embalming fluid because so I can sell those. I'm not sure I'm going to use the fly corpse charms either. I thought we get that to leave. Let's get rid of the warhammers as well. So sell those. Let's go to you then. Severed arm we can sell now, I guess. Rusty dagger, mace, that mace as well, that other mace. Okay, let's sell all of those. How about we done more? And you just got bandages. Okay, and then let's go to inventory and. Any kind of skulls, I guess, we can drop. Hopefully we don't get some quest in the future that wants a whole heap of skulls. Okay, and then you... We'll keep his head though, because that seems like something that might be important at some stage. Still can't identify stuff. Okay, and then let's check here. So probably should use those scrolls as well. I think that key we can get rid of. Hopefully, because it's going now anyway. Yeah, let's get get rid of it.
All right.
Okay, but that is the end of this particular episode, so if you have enjoyed, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and perhaps posting a comment. And while we're kicking the ass of this guy here, we really do hope to see all of you next time. Goodbye.